Right, cheers for that, guys. Sorry about the slightly late start. Welcome, everyone. This is the third week of March for our Bite Battles game. Messier, thank you for the sub. I really appreciate that. I say this every week. Yeah, I need a coffee. It's going to be a long day. We're playing on a different game mode today, a different difficulty. I've heard that it does. BB Elo by 40,000 points. So yeah, we're going to play on easy today. Because we play a lot on POC, and I'm Too Young to Die. Those games go on for a while, so I feel like showing off a different meta, a different style of the game, might be quite informative. I'm getting a lot of messages from a lot of new players, and we're going to try and explain stuff a little bit more. Obviously, you guys are here every week; you know what's going on. But for any of those that don't, I'm happy to kind of explain the way that we play the game in different ways. And the easy game mode means that we're going to go into some aspects of the game a little harder than normal, and in others we're not. So yeah, threat farming is always a good shout, mate. Always a good shout. And again, Messier, thank you very much for the subscription. I really do appreciate that. I say every week you can watch for free, but I welcome any support that you guys are willing to pass off to me. That's all I'm comfortable with. Do you know what though, dude? If you can get really, really good at threat farming, you would be an absolute weapon for your team. Meepaluk. I've definitely butchered that name. Meepaluk. I apologize if I'm butchering that. Thank you for the follow, mate. I really do appreciate it. If there's any of you that are in here that are new and you have questions, great. There are some veteran players in the chat at the moment. Christy is a veteran player at the moment. He's won 3, played 4. That's a hell of a win rate for somebody who's new. But this is a live game. If you're watching right now, welcome. This is a live game, and you can get in here and play. I had some IRL stuff. Yeah, so a couple of things kind of popped up all at once. So I've been helping some friends. You know, when a friend needs help, you help them. And a friend of mine needed a lot of help, so I had to dedicate almost an entire day to give him a hand. I hope not. A lot of this stuff kind of just pops up. You know, I'm not planning on it. So let's take a quick look as to north to south. We have a new captain available. That's all good. There'll be another round of picks, Ramen, so you never miss out. We'll do the initial pick of people that were here initially, and then we're going to run a second and even a third if we need to draft of all the players available. And as you can see, the numbers are looking really healthy today. We should end up with, at the very least, 20 people on 20 people. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit. Oh, that is weird. The silo is slightly off to one side. We just had some special games on where the silo is slightly shifted to the side. Normally, it's right central to this kind of main base and opposite, obviously, either side. So, yeah, that might need to be edited. Oh, it's been on the... Ooh, okay. Might be a new thing. Oh, and I'll let people know. I'll run the round 2 of picks. So, Cognitive Fun is the captain of the South, and North we have the Soldier. I actually got into a game a couple days ago, and we won. It was a good game. It was a very, very good game. And for any of you that want to follow along with the stats and the numbers and all the nerdiness that goes along with this, we have a website that's dedicated to giving out stats. And effectively, if you're a captain of a team, you're going to be looking through who's available to be picked, seeing what their MMR is, seeing if they're on a winning streak, seeing if they're on a losing streak, seeing what they're good at doing and what they're not. That's a very good point. Let me pin this. That's a really good point. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. And I'll keep that up for... I'll unpin this near the end. Mate, thank you for that. I forgot you could do that. Awesome. Yeah, I've been working on some exclamation mark commands as well. So yeah, this is starting to take off. I started to realize now the numbers we're getting on YouTube is vast, and on Discord especially, I'm getting at least every day 2 to 3 new players message me going, "Hey mate, I've seen the channel, I've seen the Twitch. How do I get involved? Or I tried doing this and it didn't go very well. What can I do to improve?" So the Captain of the North is the soldier. Captain of the South is cognitive fun. And I don't sleep on Cog. Cog is a very good player. Now, normally it's Enkling on against, obviously, soldier. But yeah, cognitive is strong, you know. There are many, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know that we have had very similar captains. Sorry. We've had very similar captains, but there's a plethora of strong players in and amongst the server that any of them could. Oh, mate, you should stream. Yeah, if you want to stream it, definitely. So one thing I would point you guys towards is there's a really interesting picking phase. I watched this the other day. So one of the strongest players on our server is a guy called Runebogler. Let me pull up his Twitch real quick. Now, I don't know exactly which one it is.
Did Nephrons even have to do?
But there's one video where he's the captain and they're going through the pick and the ban phase. If you ever get bored, I think it's the last video on his channel. And obviously Runebogler, he might be in this game as well. He might just be coming in a little late. It's really fascinating to see their thought process when it comes to, like, you see right from the word go. All right, why do we want this guy? What can he do? Then that guy joins the voice chat. All right, mate. All right, we need you to do X, Y, and Z. Can you pull that off? Yes. All right. What part of the map do you want to work in? And it's really smart, mate. I know obviously there's lots of organization going on during this, but to see it live, as I'm talking now to you guys, these guys are all having that conversation. These guys are all having that conversation, and I just thought also he was on the winning side as well, so you get to kind of watch a winning perspective. But yeah, you're allowed to stream these games, definitely. What I would say is maybe try not to stream the Discord chat, so the voice chat that you're in. Try and mute that, so that if an opposition team are watching, they can get obviously all the info they want out of you. But I'd be very interested to watch another perspective. All you guys really get from me is just this overview, looking around at, what's good, what's bad, what's missing, etc. There's also not a lot of bugs on here. So, yeah, it's weird that the silo is slightly off to the side. Oh, then you're all good. Then you're all good. But yeah, I welcome. I don't want to be two things, right? Firstly, the more exposure people get to see this, the better. And secondly, there's so much room at the table that I welcome more people to do it. I don't want to be really kind of protective and be like, no, it has to be. No, come on, do it yourself if you want to or not. Also, I just want to point out, Buffered2552 last week gave out 20 gifted subs. So if you are one of those 20 gifted, and you might not have been here last week, you have access to a couple new emotes. I think I added a couple. I did this. Yeah, I added a couple of new ones. Now that the channel's grown, I even have a pot noodle emote. How good is that? I have a pot noodle. So yeah, since it's grown, I'm working on it. Yes, I've heard about 7TV. I'm learning as we go. The thing is, I'm on Twitch all the time watching other people, but do I want to force a start? No, but there's loads of people that want to join. There's loads of background programs you can run that really do help you out. So yeah, if you guys know about this stuff, feel free to DM me a message about it, or even just a little YouTube tutorial about how to set this stuff up, because the better it is for you, the better it is in general, And those exclamation mark, friend like BB, for instance. So I wanted to have this command set up, and that would link you to a video where basically just explaining the concept of what we're doing. I'm more than happy, obviously, whilst I'm here to do that too. And we do it. We get through all the different bits and pieces. Yeah, I know. So I thought we could use these at certain times, So for instance, the shaky, scared one when the bugs come. I just thought it'd be a nice addition to the channel. And if there's any that you think that we need here, if there's any Factorio specific or just funny ones, dude, send me a message and let me know, and we'll get them in. We'll work them in. They need to be terms of service ones. I can't use. I was warned about this. You can't have anything sexual, obviously. And I wouldn't anyway, but just in case, I don't want to get in trouble with anyone. I thought this was a good one for when the biters kick the wall down. But yeah, I'd like a laser tower. That would be kind of cool. Do you know what I mean? Like a little laser tower that just kind of like zaps a but oh, we can make that happen, right? That's not that hard to do. And as we almost crest 20 players on 20 players, there's still so many people to pick from. And let's see if we can decipher anything from what we see here on North and South. If I look up onto the northern players, we've got some outposters here for sure. In fact, we've got a really strong 1, 2, 3. Claw normally will do like a laser type outpost with maybe Cliff doing main. Oh yeah, this is a special game. As we pick the teams, everything's in the negative so that we don't get attacked. The game is frozen, but like we had it in the past where this would take 10 minutes and the threat being at 0 would like climb. So as you're picking teams, like little bugs are coming in. So we're kind of frozen at the moment. It's like a frozen state. And then once we click go, we're on and it all kicks off. But yeah, this is looking nice. 21 on 21, still loads of people to come through. And I'm sure in time there'll be more that will join. And yeah, I'm really glad that I changed my points, by the way. I know we had spooky points in the past. I've changed them to pot noodles. I'm really going hard in for that sponsorship. Stun value. That's a very good question. I'm not sure how to answer that. Mines have stun value. You're going to have to maybe elaborate slightly on that. I know what you mean. I think I don't know what you mean. Oh, if you had like minefield. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So these things, landmines. Weirdly, not in the meta, but I'd like to see them. Because you can get bots to place them, right? And again, it's another little thing. So we're starting to see defenders like in the meta, effectively. All right, let me just give them a countdown. We get going. I think maybe. Because you could landmine all around your silo, or outside of your walls. Have basically a kill zone before... You're not picked yet. All right, let me do this. Another late joiners thing. Still loads of people. Oh yeah, mate, loads of people. Are they even picking this? Sometimes it's buggy. So we'll send these guys through again, and we'll let. Hopefully these guys come through. If not, what I might do is have to... Oh, here we go, nice. Yeah, it can be buggy at times. I heard that they're upgrading the server at the moment. Apparently speed was bottlenecking last week. You guys kind of saw it be quite janky at times. So, but yeah, going back to original point, I haven't seen mines being used. You could easily automate them. And like a few thousand mines, like just dotted around. We'll take a look, actually. We'll take a look, because you can increase your explosive damage. And most teams do that to level 2 or 3 for their grenades to do more damage to the bugs. So, yeah. Aren't mines banned? I've seen game... Okay, so the meta is very defined. Potentially got nerfed. I've seen them in games before. Mines are banned. Okay, it might have been a special then. Is that because of spam? Oh, I know why. It's because you can drop about 1 billion of them on the ground, right? And then it just like kills the server. Nerfed and banned, performance based. Yeah, got you. I kind of would. No, actually, I wouldn't, because it can just screw everything up, can't it? What about distractors? Because I've seen, obviously, defenders they're becoming meta now. I feel like they're kind of being more accepted into. But like distractors, destroyers. Actually, for speed module, I don't think that's worth it. We do see people with personal laser defenses, although if you have 20 blue chips, I would highly recommend you... Oh, I'll send you the Discord link. Here we go, mate. It's also in my... Here we go. All right, I'll send it. It's in my channel description, which I've changed a little bit. And I'll go into a small amount of detail. You're north. Let's go. Northern threat farming. All right, all late joiners were picked. We'll run this one more time, just in case somebody has joined, literally just now. Fordius is getting in, Bot Attend is getting in, and then a couple of people just sitting and chilling. Yeah, and that's just it, is you need some really late game stuff. That's all good. All right, let's end that there. There's only 2 more to come through. Soldier will get the first pick. Then we are about to get going. I'll give them another minute, maybe 2. Obviously, what they're doing at the moment, and on the easy difficulty, things happen very fast. So we may see rockets. In fact, there's a good chance we do. But the throwing of signs will happen more often. The reason we're going for easy and not piece of cake is I've done like 3 or 4 piece of cake games in a row. So I just feel like the players might enjoy a slightly different paced game. The outposters don't get to sit in their outpost and just build loads of rockets. You are under threat a little bit. So, all right, let me just put that down 1 min and we go. Awesome. Looks like a nice tournament. Luckily for me, it's all on repeat. And the game I wanted to watch has already happened. But it's a good day. There's 3 big games. Not that you guys are here for that anyway, but yeah, it's a good day for rugby today. And I think, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but the first result is a result that I really was hoping that happened. Needed to happen eventually. Historically speaking, that team deserves more than being at the bottom all the time. All right, 30 seconds and we'll get this going. And I'll explain a couple of the changes on the blurb in the channel as well, because I think that's important moving forward. But we'll get the game started. We'll scan around the map. We'll take a look at where people are moving, what the plans are, and then I'll explain a little bit. Also, we'll swap the music up a little bit too, just to kind of pull the mood up, because this is okay. This is okay. This is all right. Let's get some chill synthwave on with no adverts. And we go. Because they've had enough time, right? We've been doing this for half an hour. Let's get playing the game, boys. Let's not mess about. Fantastic. So 27 on 28, with more people to come through as well. We see oil very close, uranium very close. Some really large and generous mixed patches on both the south and the north. And for anyone that's new, if you're on the north or the south, you don't have an advantage. It seems to me like people are already making a beeline to this western area, where there is huge copper deposits. Enormous copper deposits, actually. Interesting. Okay, I like this. And the map is open. We have 1 or 2 small water features, but we have a relatively flat track here. And of course, there are no cliffs in this game mode, thank God. Can you imagine cliffs in this? Oh, mate. No thanks. But yeah, we're going to have a couple of... Ooh, what's this? Somebody... Ooh, blueprinting silos. Banned. Straight away. Well, I don't know. Do you think... How would you... Ooh, let me start a prediction first. And I'll keep the player list up so you can see who wins. And the South have named their team Glory to Ragnarok, who is an admin who's taking a break because coding the game is rough, it's hard, and it's a tough job for a volunteer. The rules and the goals, absolutely. Thank you for joining us, welcome. The rule of the game is simple. Don't let this item that sits in the middle of your base, or this week is just off to the right hand side, don't let this die. This is a rocket silo, and it needs to stay alive for you to keep playing the game. There are 27 people on the south and 27 people on the north. And oh, what a thank you, firstly, for asking that question, because I get to use my high-level NASA-style tools, like drawing on the screen and making arrows, which I will do most of this game. As you can see, there's a huge river that divides the map, and what is on the south is also on the north, but it's just mirrored. So as you can see here, there's a small copper patch here on the north, coincidentally on the south. BP Access. You can indeed, Messier. What is your in-game name? Is it the same as your chat game? Oh, it is. 117. Remember, mate, with great power comes great responsibility. So, yeah, try not to mass blueprint, but enjoy. So we have, yes, okay. So both teams have a silo, and they need to protect this at all costs. If you're in the north, the bugs will come from the north, down the map, and over the course of the game, they will become stronger, there will be more of the bugs, and they will be harder to kill. So you need to build up a castle, a big base to defend inside of. And obviously, by doing that, you need to research stuff, right? So, you need to research down this tech tree. Maybe you want to get to blue science is the goal for this game, or maybe even further down to rockets and, exosuits and all the rest of it, uranium power and, lasers, for instance. But the tech that you research into allows your base to be more developed. So what I say to most newer players is, if you see a blueprint, help build it. You don't have to be very highly skilled in the game to play the game, but even there's something as simple as building this up. There'll be some nerd, and this game is a captain's game, so there's one captain on either side. For the north, it's cognitive fun, and for the south, it's the soldier. And they have a grand plan. These are veteran players in our server, and they'll have a big plan of a way to kind of win this game. And so this will be a blueprint they think will really help their team start smelting and automating the stuff that you need to in order to get that research done, build your big base, and to survive the massive waves of attacks that come your way. Now, the bugs at this moment in time are very weak because we've just started the game. We have 2 stats to take care of, to think about the most, and both sides have this. They'll have an evolution and a threat number that they'll be watching at all times. If I'm a captain, I'm watching my side's number as well as my opposition side's number. And what this number means is, if we take evolution first, in this game mode, you can throw science over the river to the opposite team, and each one of the science levels, so red being the most basic, then green, intermilitary being level 3, level 4 being chemical, 5 being purple, 6 being utility is yellow, 7 being space. When these land on the other side, they... Oh, I can put you in right now. So I've just noticed a player wants to come in and play. They multiply and enhance the bug's strength and numbers. So at the moment, everything's very normal and equal and even, but later on, the evolution will be pumped up by the opposite team to force the bugs to rampage down the map, fight you and your team, and if they get through and they beat you, then they're going to kill off all the things that you build, like your power, like your smelting, as we're seeing going down here, and eventually, if they're too strong and too big, they're going to come and they're going to kill this silo, meaning it's GG for you and your team. So yeah, the way that you defend, and it's kind of my favorite part of this game, and we were just talking about landmines now, is you build these really big walls around the edge of your base, like a castle almost, where inside of those white walls, you have massive production blocks, making all of the stuff that you need to get into the mid game. Maybe this is like your end game block, this is like your power block, and then they're kind of covered off by these large defensive walls. We'll see that happen for sure in this game. As well as the numbers, I think will slowly climb up to 30 versus 30. So the goal of the game is to survive as long as you can, and try and push your enemy over the edge by sending science and fighting the bugs. And at the moment, they're small. You look at the right-hand side of the screen, they're small, they don't run very fast, and they have very small health pools at 15. You could melee these bugs down if you wanted to. And some people are up here, like Everlord, for instance. I am James Flash, in Swantoni. Blueprints are not allowed, mate. It's cheating. Blueprints are cheating. If anything you create, you have to create in the game itself. But you can copy other blueprints inside of the game on your side. But you're not allowed to come in and just dump a load of blueprints in. That's not allowed. That's lazy, man. You want it, you got to build it. Also, what team are you on, Christy? Are you south or north? Christy is our resident expert. Yeah, Mishap, any other questions, feel free to ask. I'm working at the moment on doing some educational videos. So look forward to that. You know, the channel has grown a lot. I need to talk a little bit about what I'm going to do with that growth, as well as the YouTube has grown a lot too. So I feel like there's lots of new people coming in. That's amazing. I'm really happy because this is a great game mode. It's really difficult. The reason it's difficult is the map is always different. It's randomly generated each time. The players that you play with all have their own individual skill sets. Like Christy's skill set is winning, so I'd pick him on my team if I was you. Oh, you're on the south, awesome. But yeah, beyond that, the game changes every time. So there's a different way of playing this, and every game is different. Every game is unique. It's almost like chess. No two games are unique, unless you're trying to replicate the same moves. Right, quick side note. If you have a look on the Twitch channel, if you scroll down below the box where let me just pick it up myself actually, I've written something down here. I've been given access to a feature, and I'm not going to spend too long talking about this because it's not why you're here, but I just want to explain something real quick. I've been given access to have the ability to raise money for charities by people watching the stream effectively. You'll have an opportunity if you want to, and you like the cause, to donate to it. But the way that I've read this, and I might be wrong, is that even just by watching alone, you help raise a little bit of money towards the goal. So not this week, because I'm still reading about the terms and conditions. But effectively what would happen is that a revenue is generated from viewership, and then that helps me kind of get to a certain goal. I see 0 pennies from this. I wouldn't want to. But yeah, I thought about raising some money for a children's charity to begin with. So it's a huge part of my life. I've always kind of tried my best to give out some of my time or offer some of my skills out for free to help people. And if I can stream and raise, I don't know, $50 for like a children's hospital or a cancer charity, you know, anything like that, then we're doing it. We're doing it. And the only rule that I'm going to set now is I'm not going to make it political. It's going to be about illness, wellness, you know, research maybe. And I'm not expecting us to raise billions, but if we can raise $100, oh yeah, dude, we're doing it. We're 100% doing it. So, little side note from me. I don't want to become sanctimonious. I'm not trying to shove anything down your throat at all. You don't have to donate. You don't have to engage. But by being here, by watching the stream, we slowly build towards that goal naturally. And it's not like advert revenue that I will see that I then portion off to them. It's a completely separate from me thing. And I love that. I'm really glad that I can make that happen. And when that pot noodle sponsorship comes in, I'm probably going to donate a little bit to the cause as well. So yeah, just a side note, things have grown, and we're going to try and do some good in the world with it. Now, if you are evil, that's fine too. But this might not be the stream for you, is all I'm saying. And if you're new and you have any questions about what this is, we will zoom right back in right now. You might be asking yourself, what's this guy doing over here? You know, if the goal of the game is to defend the silo, why are these guys so far away from the silo? Well, for 2 reasons, really. I mean, firstly, you can't have 28 people in this tiny space, because eventually there's going to be loads of buildings here, right? There's going to be all these smelters, and there's going to be all this stuff here. So you can make like a little satellite base, a little base on the side that does something for your team. And if I remember correctly, I don't know if it was you, Messier, but there was one player last week who just built power, and they made a huge power block. All the way through the game, they would basically run, find a coal patch, and then just build enormous power blocks. And deep into the end of the game, at the 3.5-4 hour mark, when their base was being tested, yeah, it helped them. It saved them a little bit. What's my dog barking at? 1 second. Oh, it's fine. Some birds at the window that are apparently worth barking at. Dear, he's such a little goofball. Oh yeah, I promised I'd get a picture of my cat and my dog up as well. I might stick them in the bio. But yeah, so these guys out here, they might be out here to do a separate kind of job or task. I want to join a team. You can join a team. Just click on the button. And yeah, we're cresting close to 30v30. You'll love to see it. Right, Force, you're going to be going south. So Whitelol might be looking at this uranium patch saying, do you know what, guys? I'm going to put the power needs of my team on my back, and I'm going to create a nuclear outpost out here. Or he might say, screw you guys. I'm just building power out here. I'm going to build huge power blocks like this. And that's what I'm going to offer my team. I'm going to plug it all the way back in. As you can see here, huge power lines are being dragged all the way across the bottom of the map, the north. And they're going to connect all these power blocks together. So yeah. You can make nuclear plants. Yeah, last week we saw 9 nuclear reactors explode at the same time. It was wild. So yeah, your nuclear stuff does exist. But it takes a while to get there, and it takes a long time. You need centrifuges, which need lots of red chips and concrete. And they need to be powered up as well. So you need to have a nuclear reactor powered up. One thing I would ask is don't blow up your team's one. If you want to blow one up, you need to make one and put it away, far away. So yeah, as you can see now, these blueprints are slowly but surely filling in, and this will be the initial plate automation. So, these belts are bringing raw resources, raw iron, for instance, which is this kind of silvery blue material. I want to play too. Oh yeah, let me do this. Still got people coming in, which is great. Bananen Eintopf? Eintopf? Okay. Does anybody know what that means? Banana on top? Well, it's good to have you here, my banana-based friend. So yeah, raw ore goes down one side, coal comes down the other. Both are fed into the stone furnaces, and out spits an iron plate. On the other side, we have the same with copper, and later on we'll see some steel smelting too. You need all 3 of those in abundance, as well as many other things during this game. So initially you might go, oh, why are they doing this? Why don't they just make tons of stuff, put it all in chests, and then make tons of other stuffs? It's almost like a river. This needs to be constantly flowing and full in order to feed the next thing along, the next step along the line, then feed the next step line, etc. So yeah, 100 rocket fuel. Is he? He's not talking to me, is he? I'll run the command again. I mean, he's more than welcome to play, but he's not in here, is he? Where is Cogito? Or is he already in the team? Am I getting trolled right now? Alright, we'll see if he responds. If he does, we'll get him on a team. You have to remember as well, some people don't like playing with certain people. So he might have been put on a team and then removed. And if that's the case, I'll put him on the other team. So he's on Discord talking. Yeah, he'll come through. He's kind of trolling you in many ways, but I'll take the L on that one. There are ways of talking in game from Discord. I'm not going to show you because people can spam it and abuse it, but yeah, there are ways of kind of communicating from beyond the realm of the game. You can kind of spookily talk to people. Alright, Fordeka making use of a mix patch with Califabop. Smiling NASA, okay. Now with the easy difficulty, we should see some spamming. We should see a little bit of spam. But the initial stage or phase that you want to blow past is you want your burner cities to go down, which initially you hand feed coal into, and then from that you grab a stack of plates over time. You then need to, don't ask again. That's fine. We're gonna add, I swear we're gonna add ChatGPT to this. Well, we did for a small amount of time, but oh, he clicked don't ask me again. Alright. I flip a coin. Everyone's had its equal footing, right? There or thereabouts. You can go south. This is where I move him south, and then all of a sudden, because they don't like him, they move him back. Yeah, that's a slight issue when you click on the wrong button, but we can solve all those problems. They're not real big problems. But just let me know. And thank you for telling me in chat as well. I slightly missed that. The beginning of the game is normally quite chaotic. I'm trying to explain simple stuff. There's normally an issue or two. And, hello, boy. Is that you barking at the birds in the window? You want to say hi to Twitch chat? No? You just want to sniff my shoes? You throw a little doofle? No? Okay. You want to run away with my... Okay. Fair enough. Sorry, guys. I apologise if you hear my dog barking in the background. He's normally asleep at this point. I'm useless. I might as well read the chat. Hey man, if you want to be team librarian, you can be more than welcome to. You can be... Can I put you as director of communications? There you go. You've been awarded the title. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility. So yeah. But I'm going to be Employee of the Month this month, and next month, and probably the month after that. So, you know, you may win it in the future, but just not right now. So yeah, the basic automation is going down. We're seeing like a small mall where small amounts of items that will be produced will be made, and down the line, we will start to see the beginnings of science. The Employer of the Year. I'm just out here creating jobs, boys. Out here creating jobs. So level 1, science, is a red jug, sorry, not jag. And with this red science, you only have access to a few things, right? You only have a couple of things that you can access, like optics, gun turrets, steel axe, some shooting speed upgrades, and a few others that have already been researched, such as logi and steel and all that jazz. To make a red jug, all you need is a single copper plate and some gears, some iron gears, which you make in an assembly machine through normal iron plates. With that, you have access to level 1 technology. Well done. For level 2, the green science, which will get you a little bit further into the tech tree. So here you can see advanced material processing, engines, stronger explosives, always a good one. Red belts, hello. Red belts, they seem like a good idea. They go really fast. And who doesn't like going really fast? To unlock this, you'll need a mixture of red and green science in your labs. And to make that green science, all you need to do is make transport belts. And these yellow inserters, they go on a belt down here, which then get fed into a machine that then give you green science. Be careful sweeping science, Christy. You might want to put that red science back. That's really important in the early game. Like super duper important. Because you only have 2 buildings making it, you need all of it back. So, yeah. Or when you see a lab, for instance, there'll be a lab up here, mate. If you see it, this setup, if you can run the red jugs and put them into these buildings, that'd be great. I don't think you meant to do it, but that early science is super duper important because how fast you research basically shows you your team, how deep into the game you are. So this is a race. It doesn't seem like it right now, but the decisions these guys are making, even something as simple as where you put this power block down compared to where you have your smelting, it all impacts and echoes into the game as we go on. So yeah, super important that the research at the very beginning just gets, it's almost like the click of a finger, bang, all right, we've done this, right, now we're on to level 3, level 4, level 5. Main's in trouble. I don't know which team I'd prefer to be on right now. I mean, we've got a couple of outposters in kind of air quotes. I don't think we're going to get to rockets on an easy difficulty. Potentially we do, maybe. What's the best thing you can make with materials? Belts, assembly machine wands, these things here, because you need loads of them at the very beginning, because they will make the things that will help make other things. Belts as well. You need lots of smelters. You need lots of electric miners. So yeah, you need kind of a little bit of everything. But if I had to put my finger on one thing that you need the most, you have belt production down already, so you don't need a ton of belt prod because that'll come in naturally. Potentially electric poles. It's kind of underrated. You're going to need to get rid of all of this forest anyway. So chopping loads of trees down and then, yeah, I mean, it could be the play. Potentially. Yeah, so I worry about solo outposters unless. So I see this all the time from bot attends, and I'm not sure exactly why he does it, but he'll run off and make a base on his own out in the middle of nowhere, and then it just kind of gets overwhelmed and he leaves. And I just worry that he's not getting a lot of fun out of it, or maybe he is getting a lot of fun out of the game. I don't want to kind of put words in his mouth, but I always feel like he gets kind of run over unless the players do now threat farm. Is to build a small base out here and then threat farm, this area. But I do worry about players that join that have no direction. And what I would say is that there's a Discord at the moment. Just ignore him, yeah. I mean, if it's what he wants to do, but it doesn't really help the team that much. There are things that you can do that really will push. For instance, like I believe this will be kind of like a small threat farming outpost. And they might even go for the military science send that we saw last week. Mr. Trump has joined us. Welcome. I love this. The fact that they've stuck a load of That's all good. I'm happy to explain threat. It's actually the right time to be talking about it because we can see that both North and the South have different numbers. I'll zoom in on Monkey Law really quickly because he's one of my favorite players. My playstyle in this game mode is varied. I can do almost anything. Mostly I win, but this is what I start with whenever I play a game. I'm known in the server as the Minister of Defense, and it's because I will defend heavily in the game mode. So threat and evolution. Evolution is how strong these bugs, and they start off very, very weak and very easy to kill. So one grenade will blow up loads of them, and a shotgun will blow a load of them up as well. Over the course of time, they will evolve, meaning they will have higher HP, more health. They will be faster. They'll run quick. They'll be bigger, so physically they will be harder to escape from, and they become nightmare size. They become huge. What Monkey Lol at the moment is doing, whilst the bugs are very weak, and they are very weak, they're only 4% evolved and very small, is he's running into them and killing them for free, basically. All he's using is a simple grenade, which you can build with a little bit of coal and some iron plates, and he's running into packs of them, so getting 10 or 20 bugs around him, and he's just throwing a grenade down, and he's killing off. Here we go. Boom. There we go. He's killing off the bugs, driving the number of them into a negative. Okay, sorry, there's some dispute on chat. So he's driving the number into a negative number. What that means is when your team's bugs go into a negative number, the map becomes passive. They stop running and fighting you. So they need to recover their numbers back into a positive number. So at the moment, as you can see now, slowly but surely, the bugs are spawning back in. And whilst they're very weak, it's very easy to kill a few thousand of them. So if you were to now stop fighting the bugs and to go back to building your base, you have a small window of free time where you're not being attacked. And on your map, on your side of the map, there's no aggression. The North are doing the same thing because this is kind of like the meta game at the moment for defense. As I take a look up here, you can see they've kind of paved some roads so they can quickly run into the bugs areas, which I really like. As well as they're building a small base that will give them their grenades, here we go. So they don't have to handcraft them. They can just run back here, grab 10 grenades, and then head back to the fight and fight the bugs off. So this is 2D Helldivers. Sorry, this is 2D Helldivers 2. And what they're doing is they're trying to get that threat to a really high number, minus 5,000, minus 10,000. Later on, you can unlock combat shotguns, you can unlock rocket launchers and flamethrowers. Mr. Trump wants to play. I think you can, my friend. I believe it's North's turn to pick next, but we might have a few more people to come through. Now, it's unfortunate that we do get people that die, and when they do, we put F in chat. What? Diablo 4 is getting ray tracing. They need more content. It's so boring, dude. I love that game mode, by the way, and like anything like that, Path of Exile, I'll play the absolute tits off it. But Mr. Trump doesn't. He just wants to spectate. Okay, that's fine. You're allowed to spectate too, mate. So yeah, look at this. Monkey Lol, he's not taking a lot of damage. He's probably got like heavy armor, I want to say, or maybe he's got light armor and he's healing himself. But this meta game is something that I advise any new player to come and do. In fact, if you see me in a game and you want to threat farm, just literally, hey Ghosty, let's threat farm. So yeah, this is really easy and fun to do. And also, you're having a huge impact. This is one player up here. I know he had a friend just now who'll come back. But this one player out of a 29-player team is making every part of the base safe. When the bugs are aggressive and the number is positive, so we have like let's say for instance this isn't minus 1800, but it's plus 1800, the bugs start to group up and they start to come and fight you, and effectively they start to ruin your day. So by forcing them to kind of be passive, you're giving every single thing on your map. So let's take a quick look. How safe. This is safe, this is safe. Scroll around a little bit. For the south. This, the base under this box. All of these players don't have to fight the bugs themselves because of this absolute legend fighting them for them. Now, the way that you go about doing this, and I apologize to anybody who has heard me say this before, but this is just kind of a basic understanding of threat farming is, you have kind of a window that you work within, a circle that you run around. And I call this the hurricane of pain. Trademark, by the way. I don't want to see anybody stealing that. You begin by running into the bugs area, collecting them, and you don't have to do it this way. And then you run on a kind of really wide circle that then tightens and tightens and tightens until you're surrounded by the bugs, where you then throw down a grenade, literally at your feet, popping the 50 or maybe even 100 bugs around you, killing them off. So one grenade can kill hundreds of bugs. Well, I say hundreds. They can kill about 40, 50, 60. Later on, they become so strong that one grenade won't do the trick. But let me just make sure that we have even teams. You're going up north. And yeah, lots of destruction here. Lots of dead bugs. We love to see it. You know, later on, when they evolve to become a lot bigger, and they go from small to medium size, and there they can go from medium to big, and then big to behemoths. We even have bosses that can appear, almost like an arcade game with like health bars, and they can revive. Oh, it gets wild, it gets wild. And this will happen. This will happen over time naturally. And if one team becomes aggressive and starts sending signs early, we'll see one team's bugs become bigger and stronger, making their life harder. So this is what I love about this game mode, is that yes, it's nerdy, yes, it's all about building bases and automation, but at the heart of it, at the very heart of this game, there is somebody on the other team, the enemy. They're looking at you and they're looking for weakness. They're looking for what they can exploit. You know, if you don't have walls up, they might aggressively send signs to you to make the bugs too strong to fight on your own. Because as you can see now, they're quite easy to fight. When they get to 15, oh no, Sag. This is quite a new player, I think. So, yeah. Another F in chat for this guy. Make weapon, kill biter non-stop. You're right, Enkling. You're right. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. There are other playstyles as well for new players. I don't want to pigeonhole people. Play and do whatever you want. But in these captains games, if you don't have a lot of experience with Factorio, or you don't want to take part in all of this, you know, like, I don't really know what this is about, so I'm just going to let somebody else do this because I think we need it, but I don't know what it does. That's fine too. What you can do is build things like power. Your base is going to get huge, and it's going to get huge fast. So maybe building a huge power block to help fund and fuel all this stuff. You know, all of these buildings, making all this science, all the labs that will go down as well, researching for you. Yeah, and I think that's a really good point. If you are brand new, try and just go with the flow. You're not going to reinvent the wheel to begin with. So, hey Micro, yeah mate, join. This is a live game, so feel free once you finish to eat. You can come in at any time, and we still have players now that are joining us that are playing, and we're only about half an hour into the game, so yeah mate, it'll be great to see you in there. And as I was just saying, if you're a newer player, you know, yes, you can do what you want, but in these captains games, we need everybody to have a job to do. You know, Force 21's job is to die, unfortunately. But, oh, you're in the game. That's fine, mate. That's absolutely fine. But he's trying to threat farm like Monkey Lol. It's hard to be this good. It's not that hard, but it's hard to know what to do and how to do it, effectively. Because you need to keep healing yourself and repelling the bugs back. And, later on, you can ask your team to upgrade things like your shooting speed and... Oh, they've already... Oh, here we go, yeah, weapons, shooting speed and weapon damage, and that can make your life a little bit easier, so... Yeah. So, yeah, newer players, there's loads of stuff for you to do. But what I wouldn't do, and one thing I would advise not to do, is you see these little bases off to the side, these little satellite bases. A lot of the time, these are friends who play, who know each other in real life, or who play online all the time. And they will have a very specific thing that they like to do. So if you want to join in on this, please ask first. Just running over here and, like taking all of these out of a chest, or it can kind of be seen to be bad manners because we don't know why you're here, and I'm not sure if you're here to make things worse. So that's not to say that you can't help, but if I want to come over to Smiling NASA's outpost, the best thing you can do is talk to him in Discord, or just type to him in game, "Hey Smiling, can I come to your base and help you build your base?" Most players will say yes. But if a player says no, you just got to respect it. You just got to respect it. They're just a very set, playstyle. Like Messier here and Fordius. I don't know if you guys know each other, but even if you don't, you can work together as a two-man team, or two-person team, sorry. And as we can see, Christy is exploring the very edges of the map. Grenading worms. Developer died as well. Well, that's sad. That's quite far away as well, isn't it? Oh dear. Developer is going to run far back to his base. Alright, bottlenecks is coming in. And yeah, for anybody that's new, I'm refereeing the game. I normally play. Not in this game, but I normally play this game. We just on the weekends have a much more structured captain's game on. So I like to kind of keep things fun and fresh for everybody by changing up things like the game mode. So we've gone easy today. And that should bring out a different meta, a different playstyle. But you still need research, so you're going to see labs. You still need a mall where you can take items from. Nothing will change in that respect. But putting down defensive blueprints early because you're expecting things to be quick, yeah, very good idea. And if the South don't begin to start thinking about where their defenses will be, then they're going to start losing things quick. So I'm going to take a quick pause there, have a little bit more of my my beverage. And I hope all of you that are here, and anybody that's watching later on down the line the VOD, I hope you're having a good day, because I'm having a great one. And if you're not having a good day, feel free to tell me in the comments. You died. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You have red chips on you? Why do you have red chips on you? Something makes me think you might not make it back out there again. Yeah, I think you picked them up from maybe one of these areas. It's not a big deal. I would probably advise to not go that far. Unless there was a specific... What were you going to do out here? What was the plan? Okay, that's like a really far way to go. Oh no, Force. Force is going for the most deaths. May the Force be with you. Oh, you're trying to make your own base. You might need help. A lot of the time, the minimum is 2 to 3 people. But main still needs help. Main still needs all of these, like belt, all these power bits. There's not coal coming through, really. Because somebody's disconnected it with a terrible splitter. Occupational hazard, yeah. So the rule is you have 15 minutes to get back to that body. After 15 minutes, it sinks into the earth and takes everything with it. So I think you have enough time to do that. But yeah, if you want to go and join a base, just ask people first. It's just a bit of common courtesy. If you just appear somewhere and take a load of stuff out of somebody's base, then they might take that personally and be like, hey man, they took some stuff that they didn't make. And that is kind of my number one rule for like newer players. When you come into main, you're allowed to grab stuff. I'd stay away from research. Just let this happen. You don't need to pick up these science jugs, right? Just leave them alone. These guys, like Outstanding, and some of the more veteran players, like Friendly Fire, they know what they're doing. Leave them to it, right? This is quite a stressful thing to do, to organize this. So let it happen. Let them do their thing. In the meantime, if you see a chest in main, you're allowed to take stuff from it. And the main base, if I can get my tools out, my drawing tools, is anywhere around the main objective, really. The main base can be big and small. So, South's main base is here. North's main base is kind of here in a different shaped circle. But it's anything that's around that rocket silo we talked about at the beginning. This main objective here. So if you play in this area around the main objective, you are a main base player. And you're allowed to take things out of chests. So for instance here, you can take these, but try and use them in main. Don't take loads of stuff and run it away. You need these miners in this base. You'll need all of these belts. So coincidentally also you'll need all this research. So, that's another one to keep in mind as well. That said, the number one rule of thumb that I have is don't take what you don't make. So running to this base and taking all of this stuff, not a good look. Don't do it. It's not worth it. And you're falling into that trap of being a stealer. So stallers, stackers, stealers, packers, and gridders are the 5 people that we just don't like in our games. We call them the horsemen of the Bite-to-Back Battles apocalypse, and it's because with 5 of those on your team, 5 single players that act like that, your game is over. That can ruin a game. So we've got a few more people join us. Let me run the join game command. They might just want to spectate. Like Mr. Trump just wants to watch. It's fine. You're allowed to just watch. I believe it's Glory to Ragnarok's. Pick first. Full-time Nub joins the South. The South hit 30 players. And may the Factorio God be with you. The Soldiers team 1 away, 29. And these are some good numbers for a weekend game. Very good numbers. And we can already see a third line of science looking to be down the line filled. And early game for me, if I'm being completely honest, early game is your kind of opening sciences, your red and your green. Mid game, in my mind, is when you have in your labs lots of military and chemical. This is your mid game. And late game is, I think late game you can qualify as kind of your purple yellow. And the end of the game is space science, because games will end very fast once you start building rockets. Oh, you got told. Captain Cogito. Is Ling on north or south? Do I need to time him out? Ling is normally a captain, by the way, and a winning captain at that. He was won a lot of games. Yeah, we've got this sort of side base here as well, which I quite like, from Neuro, which is making use of this like sushi mixed belt setup that it's just wild. Yeah, I think he is. Just taking a week off. What we have to remember about Ling, and anybody who's playing from Southeast Asia, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning that these games start. The fact that he actually captains games is wild, genuinely wild, because it's not easy at all. Alright, Martin Max King, you're going to be going north. And we have Pitters joining us, a very, very fast speedrunner, if I believe. Or is that B? I might be getting this wrong. There's Pitter, P1TTA, and then there's BTTA. Bitter and Pitter? Or are they the same person? Both speedrunners, I think. I might be getting this wildly wrong, and if I am, I am sorry, but yeah. Welcome. Welcome. They're not. Got you. Yeah, I think that they are part of Steel Axe, or they're part of some speedrunning community, if I remember correctly. Oh, Force. Force is going down. Yeah, and he's out of the game. I would be upset if I died that many times. Oh, ooh, Pitta is EU and BTTTA is Japanese. Oh, got you right. Yeah. I mean, you have to, they seem the same in terms of name. It's all the ones, mate. It's all the one and the T's. So Monkey looking to do engines, probably make flame towers. But a strong like defensive base here. Let's check out the threat number. So minus 2,000. We're kind of equal on the threat. North have been sent a little bit of science. Menander just threw some jugs. So on this tab, for anybody new that's watching, we can see who's sending how much, and then we can check how effective that is for the opposition team. I would completely give up on that, mate. It's just not worth it. Yeah, it's not worth it. The acid, when the further out you get, the bigger and harder those worms are. It's why most new players will like try and run the edge of the map and then leave. Like, I would see if anybody needs help, mate. See if anybody needs help. There's still lots of stuff that needs to be built in main, and that stuff isn't. If it was like blue chips, I'd say you need to go and get it back. But it's not the end of the world if you can't grab that stuff back. If anything, you could even help threat farm. I don't know if you've done threat farming yet, Christy, but it might be worth trying your hand at this. So maybe ask Monkey Lol if you can join his base, and ask him, you know, how do I help? What do I need to do? But here we can see finally a lot of ore, a lot of smelting going on for the south. You need healing items, mate. You see these little guys in the ground, in the water, sorry? These are fish. What I tend to do is I've got grenades on one side of life, fish on the other. These kill them, these keep me alive. You need to click on it and then click on your fish, and that will heal you. And then click on this and then click on the enemy, and that will kill them. You'll also need armor as well, which you need to build either from, you know, just standard iron plates or heavy armor. And I would say get rid of the pistol, it's terrible. You need at least a submachine gun with at least some yellow ammo. This is the bare minimum investment that you need to make. But if you threat farm though, it's a solid way of making a living, you know. If you don't want to, I mean, you can still run out there if you want, but your body will disappear. You have 15 minutes to collect it, but there's nothing on it that's worth keeping. Your team have already made 20 times what you've lost in like a very short amount of time. So you got to remember how big this stuff gets. It's worth committing your time into these areas rather than trying to make something happen far away. I mean, obviously do what you want, play how you like, but it's all about investing your time into something that's worthwhile. And the North have a lot of threat farmers, it looks like. A lot of people are very keen on fighting the bugs, so let's take a look at research. Let's see where these teams are right now. North are going for lab research, plastics, advanced electronics, sulfur processing, blue science. If you want to make a train saw, you've got to be able to defend the area. That's the thing. It's this balance, this fine balance between wanting to do whatever you want, but also having the bugs kick your ass every 5 seconds. Okay, flammables, flamethrower tower, modules, sulfur, chemical, very standard issue stuff here. Very, very standard issue stuff from both teams. We need to get through those early technology tree elements in order for us to unlock the stuff that's a little bit more niche, a little bit more kind of bespoke to us. We have another death. Ooh, that's rough. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to see rockets today. I get the feeling that one of these teams might take their eye off the ball. Like North have got a very strong understanding of what they want for defense. And even at this early phase of the game, they're actually slapping it down as well. You know, a lot of people talk about doing it. Some people actually do it. Do we have any veteran players in here that want to explain nuclear energy to Christy? Because it is a nightmare. It's all about temperatures, water pressures. It's kind of one of the more advanced elements to the game. And as a new player, I'm not sure that you're going to enjoy the journey that you will go on trying to create nuclear energy for the first time in a competitive game. It's tough. It's really hard. You also don't have... you need to be able to mine uranium to fuel the nuclear power. I would try that in Sandbox. It's almost not worth my time explaining because there's so much to it. There's so much to it. It's far too complex for a 5-minute explanation. Yeah, we also don't use solar power here, but yeah, it's not. You'll find, if you go onto YouTube, you'll find 25 and 30-minute brief explainers about nuclear power. Oh dear. Yeah, he might detonate you for that. Okay. Oh, Pavev with an early throw. Where is Pavev? Interesting. That's huge, right? So on one small science throw, and it's this small base down here that's just made to make spam military signs. The threat is still negative, right? But the bugs are now almost 30% evolved compared to the South's 8.8. What this means is that they will change in size. So as you can see here, we have some of these kind of pink-shelled bugs, which are called medium-sized, which you can see they are slightly larger than these small ones. They're harder to kill. You need to use more stuff to kill now. So instead of one grenade killing one bug, it's going to take 2 to kill a pack of them. And again, that's a large jump for a military science send. So yeah, 2 sends there, 305, jumps it by 14 points, and then followed by a 295 send, and that jumps it again by 6.2%. So we started off at 8.7, and that's gone way up to 29.4. Because the bugs are harder to kill, this threat number might go positive. And if it does, the North need defenses down. They need walls. You know, they need this production block down. And at the moment, it looks like their team needs some people to help them. You know, because this is great. This is huge. This is a ton of smelting. This is like end game stuff right now. But if you can't plug it in and turn it on and make it work for you, then it could just all go up in smoke. Pavev sends again. At 32% now, the bugs evolve. The threat will go to -600. So we've halved their negative threat. The bugs are harder to kill. As you can see now, they're like soaking bullets up. And there'll be more of these medium bugs in each of these waves as well. So like gone are the days of the small bugs. Now mediums will kind of rule the roost and be the major kind of player in these packs of bugs. I'm worried for the North, man, if they don't counter this. Or, I mean, what do they have in store? What do they have that they can, I mean, more threat farmers, I guess? Yeah, try and test it out in Sandbox. It needs to be fully powered up at 900 degrees plus. You need to be 900 degrees or more for it to explode. If not, you can just watch the VOD back. You won't lose your mats if you go to spectator mode. So if you come to the middle here and then click on the spectate button, then you'll be able to go back in. Jen, I am more than happy to explain that to you. Just give me a second. I'm just refereeing and kind of getting some new players into the game, and then I'll be able to tell you what this is all about. So this game mode is a team-based game mode where it's kind of PvP VE. We have 30 players in the north, 29 in the south. And the goal of the game effectively is that both teams have a rocket silo in this main base. You don't lose your mats, no. You don't lose your materials if you leave. They both have this rocket silo, which is basically the objective of the game, is to keep this alive for as long as possible. Or don't lose yours first. In the map, there are huge amounts of bugs that over time will grow, become stronger, and they will fight through the map to try and reach your rocket silo and kill it and effectively end your game. So protect this at all costs. And the way that we do that is with automating the production of plates. So there's obviously iron, copper, we've got some stone being smelted into bricks and walls being made, which we absolutely need. We're having a wall being built around the edge of the base, meaning we can keep the bugs away from us. We've got a couple of flamethrower turrets that will go down in time. So these are just ghosts at the moment, but they will be put down. And that should give the North a chance to defend themselves against bugs that are quite strong. There's no advantage of being north or south. If you can look here, like this copper patch is reflected in by the same, but just on the south end of the map, and the map's divided by this enormous river. So there's no chance of you crossing the river. It's just one continuous map. It's PvE. You don't actually get to fight the people on the other team, but they can make your bugs bigger and stronger. And we just saw recently, and the way that you do that is you build science jugs, the different levels of science jugs, and there's a button on the left-hand side of your screen when you're in the game. And this is a live game, by the way. If this is something that you want to play, feel free to find us. If you don't know how to find us, I can show you how to do that too. This is base game. You don't need any mods for this at all. This is completely vanilla. It's just tweaked a little bit to work with this sending setup. So Pavev at the moment has been sending military science, which is our third strongest science. And from 8.7% strength over the course of multiple sends, and he has to build all of these jugs himself, he's jumped their evolution to 32%. The bugs are stronger. They're harder to kill. When they meet your defenses, they might rip through them. They might bump into your labs, which are currently researching for you, and kill off all of your research. So you need to protect against that. So all of these blueprints with flamers and these walls, they need to go down very soon. Because as we can see, the threat is positive now, which means the bugs, they're not just super easy, they're harder to kill for one, but secondly, they're going to start regressing onto the rest of the map. So yeah, this little satellite base that's just off from main, that's just onto the west-hand side of main, is producing science and military science jugs purely just to throw at the enemy team. What Pavev is trying to do is make the bugs too strong, too early in the game, so that all 30 or 29 players on North have to defend all of the bases they're building. And as we can see here, stuff like this isn't defended. And some of it's taken damage already, actually. Interesting. We're 1 hour in these games. We're on a different game mode difficulty today. I'll send you a link if you like. Give me a second real quick. The YouTube channel has grown and the Twitch has grown as well. And I'm really grateful for that. If you want to check out what we do this every week. This game mode is playable and available for free all week long. You can literally jump into a game whenever you feel like it. Why am I putting that there? I'm such an idiot. So, so this is a captain's game, and what this is effectively, one second. This is an organized version of the game. So we have two captains. Yes, sorry, that's a great explanation. Sorry, I'm currently juggling getting new players in and explaining, but yeah, what Kojito said is correct. These games go on for about a few hours if they're really good. When we have high player numbers like this, we have a captain on either side. So the North's captain, the soldier, will be talking on Discord to all of his team about what he wants them to do. So some of the players are building power for the base. Some of them are building, spam science. Some of them are going into oil production early, and their joint effort will hopefully get them a win. But we can see now, bugs are aggressing into the base, and they need to be grenaded down. They need to be killed off, because if they can make it through, and we do see this often, bugs will kind of come down the map and they'll start slamming into stuff that you don't want to lose. Spaghetti is allowed. Spaghetti is allowed. I say to new players all the time, so there's like different roles and functions that you can have within the game. You don't have to just build stuff, and just be like automation. There's like aggressive portions to the game where you can go out and fight the bugs, sorry. As we can see here, the South are doing it as well, but they're dealing with smaller bugs because they haven't had anything sent to them. No, you can join. If you want to join this game, I can get you onto a team. If you want to join the Discord as well, the link to that is just below the stream, I think. And they'll be able to talk to you, man. They'll be able to ask you, all right, what can you do? What would you like to do? What do you want to do to help us, etc. There's a role for you if you like. But if not, feel free to stick around and chat. Here we go. And this is why we play the game. The bugs are coming. The North have got some problems. If they don't kill this wave off, this base will die. And if this base dies, well, you can imagine that, the bugs might run into this power block and kill this power block off. We do play with mods. So we've done this with, they're so strong, grenades. And you can also obviously upgrade stronger grenades too. So hopefully, with only 2 or 3, this should be deleted. These are nothing compared to the behemoths that we see later. So these guys are mediums with the pink shells. Later on, we will have behemoth bosses, and they have health bars above their head, like an arcade game. So yeah, it gets wild. It's a really fun game mode. The other team sends influence. So by sending these science jugs, you're effectively influencing the strength of the enemy team, and the enemy team's bugs. Sorry. I am working, by the way, and we call it bite battles because they bite bases down. This base they've been playing for almost an hour, and this base is getting decimated. So the North they've got some problems, man, and they're very, very lucky that wave didn't slam into this power block, because that would be huge for Maine. So I'm currently working on making some explainer videos, some educational videos. Look out for them on the YouTube channel I posted earlier on. The channel has grown a lot in the last 2 weeks. I've got now 2,000 subscribers, something around that. So I feel like I'm reaching more new people, which is great, but I need to do a better job of explaining the game, especially considering I am basically the best player in the server. That's the reason I host these games, is so that people can kind of play in them. I referee them. It would be unfair if I was to be in the game right now. It would be massively unfair. So, nice. Are you in? You're on the island. Awesome. So yeah, I'm making some beginner content, and that should be coming out down the line to help people understand the game a bit better. I can take my time editing all that stuff and getting it in, but awesome. Yeah, that's brilliant. Well, feel free to stick around. The game it's a critical point, because the North are dealing with 47% evolved bugs, and they've got kind of a wall down, but they don't really have their flamethrower towers down yet. They're dealing with packs of bugs that, okay, this will be a buffer, but as we know, wave 1 isn't what we're too worried about. It's wave 3 and 4 that then punch a hole through and kind of deliver that final killing blow. But this is the meta for defending. You need some flamer towers initially in this early game. Flamer towers, smallish wall, to kind of give the bugs some kind of DPS fire damage, keep them away from you, keep them away from your base, and stop them from doing this, because this sucks. It's not GG them being here, but this sucks. Nobody likes this. Nobody wants to be dealing with this, right? They want to be building their base with impunity, but this sets your team back, because all of a sudden that cuts off your science or your power. Not GG yet, but I believe this mill size send was pretty big. I believe this has been quite good for them. And people have gotten into this kind of not lazy rhythm, but they've gotten into this rhythm of, oh, well, I'll just, I get to build however I want. And they forget that this is a game mode where the bugs are here to fuck you up. They're here to ruin your day. They're here to make life hard for you. You're going to have to grenade some of your own base down and rebuild this, meaning that the South or whoever is on the opposite team get to continue researching. They get to continuing to kind of exist in kind of a better state than you. And it can be very frustrating. So, yeah. Lucky for the South, they've built their wall up. Pavev with another throw, that's horrendous. 700. Now, this is on a timeline. There comes a point where sending like this isn't worth your time. And this is on the clock, effectively. So beyond 50-odd%, it's not as effective at throwing at lesser timings in the game. And that's another video I'm going to go into detail about. It's like, why do we send? And when do we send? Because there are critical timings. Like Pavev started sending the moment he didn't see a wall up north, and that all of a sudden now we're looking at North having the center of their production chewed out. Now, as a team, would you just hand the towel in? We do. We have a space exploration run that we do. We've done some Industrial Revolution, Bob's mods as well. Effectively, what you'll find here is just people that really like the game. We're not just bite battle nerds, we just love the game, and any version of the game that exists, we will play. We've even done modded fighter battles where we've had Bob's mods, which was horrendous. It was so much fun, but it was so difficult. So yeah, I stream at the moment on this block, so I stream on Saturdays, but we have a really... No, don't worry, I'm working on that. Bear with me, because the channel has grown quite big, but we have an event next week. We have a really big event next week, and I'm not really a streamer. I'm getting used to being a streamer. I'm learning about it, but I'm planning on doing some more. So I come from a very different video game community. I think a few thousand of the subscribers that I've got come from my old community. So I'm going to be streaming some more games. I also work full-time as well. I have a full-time job and a dog, and a girlfriend and a cat and a flat that's terrible. So mix it up, I guess. I'll try and mix it up a little bit, but yeah. So the joke is there was a raid. I'm not even going to go into it. On one of the VODs, maybe I think 2 games ago or 3 games ago, on one of the VODs, I got locked out of my flat by the armed police. I didn't do anything wrong, but they were raiding somebody else. It was grim, mate. It was so grim. I was like, I need to leave this place. It's terrible. So next week, 12 nightmare people, speedrunners. We have 12 professional gamers, genuine professional gamers, have challenged every single player on our server to a game. So the North will have only 12, and the South can have up to, I think, 1,000 players. I think that's how the max. I don't know if all of them are speedrunners, but I know they're all pros. I've seen the list. There are some nightmare people in that list. So, yeah. BB pros and genuine pro gamers. Not me. It wouldn't be fair, again. And remember, guys, stay humble. But, yeah, we've got... big bugs. This might be GG's. They've been zerged. Oh, and it's so hard to kill these guys with basic grenades. Look at that. They're just getting swallowed up. They've been timing attacked. The South have done a really good job here. Now, you can get rid of these, but it's just like how long it takes to kill one single bug off. I believe it's a mixture. I can't hint too much about who they are. You'll see next week. It's on Sunday. We have this weekend captain's game as well, but you'll see next Sunday. We have the whole server. We can have up to, I think, 1,000 players on our side. They only have 12, and I think they might beat us. So we can have so many people. We can have one person crafting one building just to put it down, and that's it. That's your game, right? There's 12 of them. It's going to be amazing, mate. Medical Madness, nice to have you with us. And I hope you're having a good weekend. I'm glad you found us on YouTube. I think the algorithm is suggesting me a bit more. So thank you for watching the content. I mentioned at the start of the run, I'm going to be doing some charity streams as well. There's a couple of charities that are very close to my heart that I want to support. In England, there's one called Greater Ormond Street, which is a children's hospital. And the way that it works is that you don't need to donate anything to it. Just by watching the stream, you generate money towards that charity. So I see not a penny I wouldn't want to. And if it helps do a little bit of good, by raising $10, $20, is that $100? It doesn't matter. I want to do that. I want to do that for them. So I'm going to do that. We also host 1v1 tournaments as well. If you have a look at that YouTube channel that I posted, I believe it's still linked. You'll see that we have cash tournaments. That's all good, mate. That's Abe. You've literally just found me. Welcome. We host 1v1 tournaments for any of you that like real competition. The 1v1 meta is different, but the winner of the last one walked away with about 400 euros, as well as some cryptocurrency as well. So I know that this seems like quite a small little community, but we're trying to get a lot of stuff going on, you know. It's not about money, but it's about just having fun, competing. You know, some of the best speedrunners come in and play against us, like Simultus, Pitt has played, Anti-Elites has played with us. And they make it hard for us to win because they're so fucking quick. They're so fast. But welcome. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I was just explaining just now to Jen. I'm going to be making some explainer beginner videos for the YouTube channel for this new set of people that are coming in. You'd be surprised. Anti has won a tournament and also coincidentally lost in another. So we haven't had one reigning champion. I'm slowly but surely uploading all of those 1v1 tournament games, but it's wild, man. The speed at which these people play at, as well as the meta, the strategy they use to beat each other is different. So we've seen like people sending gates and flamer ammo from Timinator. It's really good fun. So I believe the algorithm is a bit more in my favor. I think I'm being suggested a bit more, and I'm really happy about that. It's nice that I'm reaching a wider audience. And again, I say this, I'm learning how to stream, but I don't have, I didn't start this to be a streamer. Thank you for the follow as well, mate. This all started because we have some players that play in Australia and some people that play in America that can't make this game slot. So what I did was I started streaming to 2 people, and I started streaming for 2 people just so we could put the video up so that those players, those 20, 30 players, could watch the game back. And it's turned into us hosting tournaments and doing special events. Oh, it's been good fun. It's been such good fun. And I say this every week, and I mean it. You don't have to subscribe. I welcome it. You don't have to follow, but thank you. Just being here alone, it's really nice to have some company whilst we cast another game. And it has been chaos, absolutely chaos for the North. Power is being devoured. And what do you do here? What can you really do? You grenade them, you grenade your own power. You need to aggro them, I guess, but you can't really do that. Does this guy even have grenades on him? I feel bad for him because this is overwhelming, even for somebody this early into the game. This is a large loss. It's not GG's, but you are sinking. And if you don't plug those gaps fast, I believe the North. And again, what I want to say to all those newer viewers is that we normally reach rockets. So we normally have, with these kind of numbers, people sending rockets into space and getting the highest level of science back, and then them throwing loads of science at each other. And if you have a look at that YouTube channel I linked, I think last week we got to 13 rockets being sent at once. So 13,000 white science, which was just, I think the bugs ended up at 400% strength. And at the moment they're 50. So it gets big. But yeah, to answer somebody else's question again, this, we have somebody skimming. Good evening. The one thing I like to say that I do that I haven't seen on other streams is I've got this paint set of arrows and circles and triangles. So I like to try my best to make the game informative, educational a little bit. Having played so much and reached rank 1, I think it's quite important to explain all right, there's the bit with the wave of the bugs. What you want to do is kind of run in, grab their attention, start spiraling. Do you know what I mean? You can begin to engage people in and show them how to play at the very highest level. And for any of you think that I take myself seriously by calling myself the best player in the server, I'm not. But I'm learning how to stream. I'm slowly setting it up. And I know that a lot of you guys that followed recently are from Dota. And I might play a bit more. I might play a bit. I might stream a bit. I might coach, because that's how a lot of you guys found me initially, was I was coaching another team. So I might get back into coaching. So the bugs spawn, if you're on the south, they spawn from the south. They can never cross the river, but their goal is to spawn and make their way into the map. They do go far and wide, so they don't just come into the middle of the map. They're aiming for your rocket silo. That's what they're here for. They want to kill off your rocket silo. This is the objective of the game, is you want to keep this safe, and you want your enemy's one to blow up. And the way that they blow up is that the bugs come through. And we can see, the bugs are kind of hitting quite close to home at the moment. This is something that I'd be asking my team, right, where's our wall, If the bugs are going to come in this direction, we need something to kind of bounce them back. No, it does not. Interestingly enough, the bugs actually count as an ally. So if somebody from the south teleported to the north, they wouldn't be attacked. It's quite interesting how they attribute you. So all of the south players are bugs to the north, and all of the north players are bugs to the south. We do run special games where we have land bridges between the two teams, so you can kind of run into the opposition base and mess with stuff. We do. There's so many cool things we do. We also have things like, if you have a look at the Discord and you go to special games, we give free items. So sometimes we'll give free suits, Mark II suits, free lasers, free trains. We like to keep things fresh. But for this game, we keep things quite vanilla, just so everybody has a chance at getting there, getting to the end of the game and winning, hopefully. So yeah, this is luckily to the North's credit, they've survived a bit of a stinger. They've got their wall up. It's not very thick, but it's thick enough, and they're starting to get their flame turrets down. They've got enough room in their base to survive this and to keep pushing forward. But yeah, they need to make sure that there are no gaps in their wall. At the moment, with no robots, they don't have the chance for a bot to come up and fix this hole and any other hole that exists over time. So this is fine for now. They've stabilized. Some bases have gone down though, and you can see here now there's one base that's been completely chewed up. And even oil is getting attacked as well. So yeah, the North aren't having any fun. But somewhere on this map, somebody is pushing forward. Dr. Claw. So yeah, they have this little side base that's kind of safe. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I'd hate for them to do it. And Cliff has a plan. He's like, do you know what, guys? You can take all of that military science. Yeah, you can throw it at me. You can get my bugs to 60%. That's not a big deal. But do you know what I think is better than military science? Chemical science. So why don't I just build loads of blue jugs, grab them all, and throw them across to the other side? Golden Hawk, nice to have you with us. We have done it before. There's a meme in the community, and I shouldn't really tell you that what the meme is about, but we've done artillery games before, and it's led to arguments and people being quite upset. Things got heated very quickly because people thought they were being targeted. So these bases out here, people thought that they were being like singled out with artillery. They weren't. They were just really good targets for artillery. It's banned in this game, but we may, if we can get the right levels and the right setup, artillery, I think, has a role in this game. But at the moment, not so much. So just to say, for instance, just to compare notes, at 70 minutes, 2,000 grey jugs of military science went over to the north, and that only changed the evolution by 6.4%. Meanwhile, 1,269, nice, blue jugs 3 minutes later went from the north to the south, and that jumped 32 points. And what we're witnessing now is a fight back, because there are certain areas where if the bugs slam into the south are well defended. They have defenses to their east, and they have defenses to the very south of their base. However, what would happen if a pack of bugs were to meander around? I mean, here we go. On the map, we can already see bugs are meandering around to the side. There's nothing here to fight them off, which means if they start attacking the wall, eventually the wall goes down. And if they were to just, scurry on by and just get through here, they're going to start slamming into stuff that is not defended. And yeah, I would argue that you need to kind of get that wall completed ASAP, because now both sides, if we take a look at the evolution, are dealing with evolved bugs. And these aren't the kind of bugs where you can just like shoot them down and blow them up. They slam into you, they kill you. As we can see, T-Bucket literally just died to them. And look how many there are. For new watchers and new viewers, if you think this is a lot of bugs, you haven't seen anything yet. We do mess around. Oh my god, there is a version of the AI, and I'm not saying this to be hyperbolic. There is a version of the AI which is nightmarish. And it's nightmarish because it's hyper intelligent. And I say that like it's like a sentient being, but I'll explain to you really quickly. As we watch one of these waves get detonated, I'll zoom out to another base and I'll explain to you what happened to me. And a friend of mine called Bilbo, when we had an outpost, right? So this is me and Bilbo's base, just for example, right? They could never be. Well, we beat them off. So we're slightly more intelligent. So this is mine and Bilbo's base, and mine and Bilbo's base is absolutely smashing it. We entered a test server with one of the developers of the AI, and they said, I've made a really nightmarish version. We need people to try and play against it. So me and Bilbo, we had a base. There were loads of other people that had other bases, and we were like, right, let's just sit and wait and see what happens. Ooh, that's big. Okay, now the South have to weather a bit of a storm. As we can see, stone and steel going on the ground will not help Neuro. The bugs are starting to chew up some of their infrastructure, and some of this stuff is quite important. So this is mine and Bilbo's base. The bugs typically will attack from where they've come from, right? So if I'm on the south, they've spawned here somewhere, because it does eventually kind of peter out, and they'll make their way across to me, right? And this is how standard back in the day, this is how the AI used to work. They slam into you, and then they just keep eating through your base, right? They just eat through your stuff. And then it's like, all right, done with that, what's next? And you'll see here, look, they've kind of made a bit of a dent, and they've bitten through some smelting lines. The new AI, the absolute nightmare AI, went, where's their power? Oh, I don't want to click on that, mate. Went, where's their power? And ran the bugs around our base, and the first thing it hit depowered our base. So we built defenses. We were like, okay, we're smart, we're big brain, we'll build defenses back here. It's not normal for them to loop around like that, because they bypassed stuff that they could have killed. They bypassed our smelting, they bypassed our mining, they bypassed stuff they could viably kill, and they went for power first. So in this little square, we built some defenses, and the defenses held. All right, so round 2, the next round of bugs come. So they can't get to our power because we've got laser turrets down there. Where do they go next? They find the fucking building that is building our laser towers and go straight to it. They don't kill anything else. They kill the building making our lasers. And all of a sudden we have no spare lasers to fucking defend ourselves with. And then all of a sudden, from every angle, we got slammed into. It was like the perfect attack. Like they had built waves up in these areas and they just held them off. They just held them off until that one building went down, and then they just converged onto us. Like absolute nightmare. And we died. Like we just absolutely got folded up. I'm not afraid to say, no, it's amazing. It sounds awful. It sucked to go through, but it's amazing because one day our server is going to be ready to fight that AI again. You know, hyper intelligent. Let's get the best players on our server, the best 60 players on our server, put them all on one side, and then have a show match to see how long we can last. Because I kid you not, it was like playing one of those chess robots. Every time you made a move, its counter move was so powerful, you had lost after the third or fourth, movement of a piece. It was horrendous. And I loved every second of it. That's not this AI. This AI is a little bit more basic, a little bit more caveman-esque, where it will see a target, like for instance these buildings or these buildings, and it will go and eat that target. Now, it's not always directly whatever's close to them. Sometimes it's the thing that's being powered, or sometimes it's like a military building. But the standard issue thing that these guys do is they'll find something, they'll stop and they'll bite it. And at this point in time, I believe, because there's a radar down, which is a military building, they're kind of keying in on this area of the map. And I don't think there's some defenses here, but the wall's not very thick. Later on, with my MS Paint, I will draw out different wall pattern designs. Defensively, it's really important to have a pattern to your wall. You can't just have this flat surface. You need to have some kind of zigzag or some kind of shelf into gulches, into shelf type design. Some people go for a castle style, where they have like these little nubs that stick out. There's loads of different defensive setups, which we'll go through down the line. As it stands at the moment, the North are dealing mostly with big bugs, and the defenses hold for now. As I said before, it's not the first one. Oh no, have a look at this, So the joke that I have in chat is that I'm eventually going to get sponsored by Pot Noodle, because I eat loads of them on stream. Have a look at that, mate. I actually got an emote. Not from them. I'm not sponsored, by the way. I don't work for them. I just eat a lot of them whilst I stream. So yeah, I managed to get one of them agreed, like that's allowed in as an emote. And yeah, here you go, look at that. Look at the decimation that's caused. A single small hole on the side of a wall, and this whole left-hand side of North's base, the northern western side of the base has been decimated. So, and again, a secondary, and this is what we're talking about, the AI being slightly dumber, but still smart. They've made a hole, right? So what would be the point in them going and running into any other area? Why not just go through the hole you just made? There's nothing else here other than, a player to defend. Instead of them slamming into this area or to a new area, they're going to go and widen out the area they already created. Make this hole slightly larger. So the wave 4 and 5 and 6 bust their way through. It's getting big. Sefer. Or, yeah, Sephiri? That is the $1 million question. How do you stop people getting to the end game if what they're doing is just end game building? So let's say this team are just guaranteed to get to a rocket. You see them running out here at the beginning of the game, and you know that they're going to come to this area, and we're 10 minutes in. And you know for a fact that if it gets to the 3-hour mark, there's going to be rockets built, here, for instance. And it's going to be the end of the game for you. How do you stop them? And I believe what you just said there, it's the way that it gets stopped. You need to pressurize the opposition. If you're in a competition with anybody, a sporting competition, you can't allow them to do what they want to you. You need to pressurize them. There's no point in being in a boxing match and throw no punches. Some people disagree with me on this. We've had a lot of debate in our Discord chat and our channel, about whether you send early or not. And I'm so vehemently on the side of throwing and causing chaos to the opposite side at the right time. And if you can do that, and if you can do that well at the perfectly timing, Oh, thanks for the wait, man. Wooden Gaming. I hope you had a good stream, mate. Thank you. I highly appreciate it. We were just talking about ways to shake up the meta, because at the moment, one team is getting absolutely decimated. Yeah, not much. We have our weekly captains game, which is a mod of Factorio that anyone can play. If anybody that's just joined wants to play a game of Factorio where 26 players are playing against 28 players, feel free to let me know and I'll get you into a game. So yeah, this is a competitive server where we play against each other all the time. We also host money tournaments as well, where the best of the best go up against each other for a couple of €100. We do that a couple of times a year. My name's Ghosty, I'm the referee. Welcome everybody that's been brought along. We're in the mid-game, I want to say. We're at the 1 hour and 20 mark of a very, very good game at the moment. If you have any questions at all, if you're brand new to Factorio, or if you just want to ask about what's going on, that's exactly what I do here. I'm an explainer of the game. I am rank 1 at the moment in the server. If you click on the link that's pinned at the very top of chat, you'll be able to have a look at all the ELOs, all the MMR of the different players in the game. You'll be able to Google up like King of Gugu, how strong is he, what does he do? We really like our stats. If you play in this game, you will eventually get a rating and a ranking. And we host these weekly games, or weekend games, once a week. We kind of just have one really big, organized, fun game for everyone. So, welcome. And if you want to play, just like Freak wants to play, all you're going to do is join us. If you don't know how to join us, I can show you exactly how to do that. Just after I get Freak into the game, let me just remind myself, it's North's turn. So what happens in these games, by the way, is each team have a captain. Each captain is in Discord on a voice channel, and when the game starts, they pick their team from our player base. So everybody puts their hand up if they want to play. Some people are just here to watch, like Tech Priest and Eagle and me, because I'm the referee. And out of the list of players, they create like a special team that does stuff. Certain players are doing defensive roles. For instance, like making the wall thick and building out flame turrets. We have some nerds building science and researching us deeper into the game. And we have North versus South. I think the Soldier is the North captain. Cognitive Fun is the South. 2 very strong players. And if you don't know how to find us, very, very quickly, and I don't think I'm going to be ruining my own game by doing this. If you don't know how to find us, let me show you very, very quickly. If you have a version of Factorio, go into it. It needs to be the most modern, but you don't need any mods to play with us. Click on Multiplayer. Click on Browse Public Games. We should be the most populated game. 69 player. Nice. we are normally the most populated server on Factorio at any given time. But if you want to find us, click over onto this search function here, type in Free Fighter Battles, and you'll find our 2 servers. This is our main one. This is our main server. Hit Join Game, and that's it. In a few seconds' time, you'll download the map, and you'll be in with us. Feel free to come in and watch. If you want to play, you're more than welcome to. You don't need to be very highly skilled. Or feel free to stay and watch here too. I don't have any massive ambitions to be a big streamer or anything. But we're getting better every week, I think. I hope. I hope we're not getting worse. And what started off as a bit of a hobby to kind of show the game off to a few friends that weren't able to make it, has turned into a really nice little community. You know, I'm really grateful for everyone that has supported me over the last couple of, well, it's almost a year and a half now. So yeah, that's enough of me talking about me, by the way. I do apologize. I do like to do that. One of the comments on one of the videos is, this guy literally has a stream so he can talk about how great he is for 4 hours. And I'll take that. I'll take that as a compliment. And thank you for the follow, Wooden Gaming. If you're just getting back into Factorio, maybe this would be a great little side quest, you know? Learn how to play biter battles. This is organized, but we do have normal games as well. We do have normal games where you can go off and do whatever you want. It's not about, you know, winning the game right now and doing the, you know, researching absolutely everything that you need right now. It's about having fun, getting to know the community. The Discord is great. There's loads of stuff going on at the moment. I'll put a quick link up to anybody that wants to join it into the chat now. And I'm an admin as well. So if there's any issues, feel free to message me. We don't tend to get a lot. People disagree. You'll know this yourself. Factorio is a very specific game. There are certain optimized ways of doing things, but we just like to have fun here, you know. And we don't put oh no. Sorry, just quick side note. Sending purple signs at this point in the game, they've been absolutely folded up. 600 jugs. They're closing in at 90. We're looking at behemoths. Sub 2 hours. Sub 2 hour game. Ooh. I'll explain what's just happened now. The North are in for a world of pain, even though the South have their own problems too. As we can see now, bugs are not enjoying this base, and I wouldn't too, because it's red belted. And for any of you new here, red belts are a bit of a meme within the community. Absolutely not. We hate to see it, and I'm sorry, gaming guy. You don't deserve this. You deserve more. The North are in for a world of hurt. The bugs have evolved to 80% strength. There are 1,500 of them, and they're all quite angry. They're all quite pissed off. Now, using my high-level NASA-based tools, I believe NASA use these tools, we'll start to see the bugs descend onto the different bases. As we can see here, like a little wave popping in. These bugs are as big as they can get for these blue bugs. Later on, though, easy stonks. Yeah, these bugs will evolve once more into green-shelled bugs called behemoths. And then beyond that, they can turn into bosses. Taking a quick zoom out, however, 90% bugs slamming into this base. Oh, we've got some bosses coming already. Excellent. Right, if you have a look down here, we've got some bosses coming in. I'll make sure I keep my eye on them. Because like an arcade game, you're now going to have to fight this wave off as a base. As a 25-player team, this is your problem. So they're still big. They're not behemoth. But as you can have a look at these health bars, they're not going down too fast. You know, these guys, they may, I mean, there's a lot of them, right? They may get through the wall. You know, and if this wave doesn't, there's another couple coming through because there's 1,500 bugs spawning very soon. And they're coming for your walls. Now, the North are doing a great job, by the way, of throwing poison capsules. And that's what this blue kind of area of effect is. For anybody that doesn't know, this blue kind of AoE area is when you kind of select a poison capsule in your inventory and you throw it down. You also have slowdown capsules as well, which do exactly what they say on the tin. They slow the enemy down and they will DPS the enemy on top of the fire that is spitting out at times at the bugs. These guys are now slowly but surely being DPS'd, although they are making some inroads here. They're creating small holes. But not the biggest issue in the world right now. The biggest issue for the North are this number here, this evolution number. When it hits 90%, oh dear, they're in for a world of pain. You'll need laser turrets at that point. However, I don't think we're very close to laser turrets. In fact, I know we're not very close to laser turrets. So the Q cracked. Oh no, this base has been decimated. They have defenses out here. Yes, they do. Apologies if I'm skipping over anything or missing stuff. I want to see how either side are defending. And here we go. Here's the difference. The South have got light oil in their flame towers. And light oil is the highest damage oil you can have, as well as you can research into stronger flammables. So you can have stronger fire basically down the line. The same way that you can have stronger explosives and shooting speed, etc. And laser upgrades are huge for the end game. Obviously, once you get to lasers. At this point in the game, I'm not super duper worried for the south. Some of the wall is a little anemic in areas, but with light oil in the flamers, and flamers kind of everywhere, the coverage is good. The coverage is good. They will eventually end up with holes in their wall, as we can see down here, and you'll need to patch these up. I mean soon, because the next few waves coming in are absolutely going to go for that hole. The north, in the meantime, some of their external production's getting killed off. This is kind of a bit of a wounder because you've got a lot of iron coming into your base here. It's a lot of economy to lose, and to go out and rebuild that is time spent that you could be using on other projects. So, yeah, the North have defended well for now, but there's a huge ask of them in the not too distant future. How do we hold out and get past this point? How do we stabilize ourselves and get ready for the next part of the game? Because we're in the mid game now, which is your kind of blue and your military science research. The end game is mostly denoted by having purple and yellow science, which are the higher tier sciences, the kind of top of the tech tree. Apologies for talking a lot as well. It's been a long day. It's been a great day, actually, and I hope you guys are having a great day too. And I'm not just saying that to say, but that is an egregious amount of bugs coming in to hit one wall in one spot. What can you do as a player? You can thicken the wall. Definitely thicken the wall if you have the walls to thicken. You can throw poison capsules at this, which is another way of playing. You could go outside. You could be out here with a car. I mean, imagine if you had a car and the right kind of fuel, you could potentially kite the bugs, you know, like around in a circle and just drive around and be a nuisance. You know, the bugs tend to aggress onto players first, unless they're already being attacked. So you could potentially get in a car and drive this wave away. It's PvE, but either side has the opportunity to affect bugs' state of existence. So if you have a look here, you'll see lots of sends, lots of signs being thrown at the different teams. When you're in the game, there'll be a small box in the left-hand side up here, and that will have different icons you can click on. And those icons are the science icons. So when you have a certain amount of science in your inventory, if you click on an item like that, you'll send that science to the enemy team. And when you do that, depending on what science it is, will change the evolutionary state of the bugs. Basically, how big, how scary, and how difficult they are to kill. And when you do send as well, and we'll check in on those sends, you'll change the amount of threat, the amount of bugs on the map, on the enemy side. So it's PvE, but you're playing against people that are affecting the map, that are changing the state of the game. And there are times where sending and scouting the enemy and seeing, all right, they don't have a wall, so let's send a little bit of science now to try and get them attacked. It started off with red science. 44 jugs were sent at 30 minutes into the game, and that didn't change anything. And over the course of the game, the guys have built up their production where they can sell thousands of science. We're now at a point where the science that's being sent is more advanced, doing more damage, evolving them more. And I go back to, what was the largest evolution we saw at the beginning of the game? There was like a 50-point jump at one point, wasn't there? Here we go, yeah. 1269 science was sent by Cliff at the 73-minute mark, and that evolved the bugs by 32%, leaving them at 52% from 19. So those kind of jumps can catch people off guard. So you're playing against bugs, yes, but they're being manipulated and kind of, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm looking for a certain word. Manipulated, influenced. Where is your base, Ramen? Where are you at? Are you this one? Because one base got absolutely blitzed. In fact, so many of the things. West, the lowest point of north. Got you. Alright, let me just get this player in team. Okay, Frozen Mountain, you will be going to the north. Have fun. We have a base here that's been decimated. Absolutely blown up. We have a secondary base here that is currently being detonated, absolutely blown up. But the poison capsules are doing well here. You know, they are actually downing the bugs over time, but lots of damage to this base and some bosses as well. I think you might need to join, mate. Your team needs you. Your team needs you. We do. Oh, we have some laser turrets in the north. That's some good news. And we have bots out here as well. Power is low. Oh no, sorry, we're powering that up. So we have laser towers. That's good to see. But then, you know, can you get those lasers out to main? You know, how much use would lasers be right now against all of these bugs? That'd be huge. And Cliff Build continues to send the blue signs, ramping up the evolution even further. 90 is the key number, 90%. But both teams are under pressure here, both South and North. The South hit 69%, again. Nice. But yeah, overall, I like what I see from the South. I don't know how far they are from bots. Coal lasers. I mean, if I was to join right now, I would say try and get yourself some capsules, man. Capsules are the way forward until you get your lasers down. And all it takes is for you to be in the right spot. Like Jumbo here, I think he was building power. And he was like, right, I see a wave. I'm just going to go and throw a couple in. Just help my team out. Now it's about positioning. So, yeah, good luck if you do manage to join. But if not, feel free to stick around here, mate. This is looking like it's going to go on for a bit, but I don't think this is going to be a really long, protracted game. Fake power on North. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen a massive steam buffer. Yet. That's not to say it shouldn't exist. But then Neuro is in the game, so fake power should also be here too. Right? Because Neuro loves fake power. And for any of you wondering, Neuro is the senior administrator. This is his kind of baby. This is his kind of thing. And we love Neuro. Please don't DM him. Don't DM him on Discord. That's massive. He's really busy. He's really, really busy all the time. And when he's not busy, he's playing video games with his kid, which I think is amazing. You know, big up all of you dads out there that play video games with your kids. I think it's massive. You know, you can show them the way. You can get them into the real good games like Factorio, for instance. And yeah, we have obviously very clear and distinct community guidelines in these games as well. So yeah, this is a welcome experience and environment for everyone. Obviously be yourself, but at the same time too, if we see anybody kind of being aggressive or trying to bully or somebody using hateful language, trust me, I've even done it on stream. I've kicked people off instantly. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know. We had one idiot, unfortunately, who drew a swastika in the ground with belts thinking he was funny. He'd not only got banned from our server, but from a host of servers off the back of that. So he just can't play Factorio anymore. And fair enough, man. Like, why do that? You can do whatever you want in life, believe whatever you want. If you start putting it out there into the world, you're going to get it back. So, oh, it's gone. Oof. Big Sen just went down. Let's see what that's done. 1200. Carl, throw. Whoa, we've got to 92. We've got to 92. Big green boys are about to enter the field. Big green boys. Behemoths have taken the field. That's massive from Carl. These are the largest evolved bugs that we'll see. They will get stronger over time as they evolve, but they won't grow in size and stature beyond this. What they will do is grow in health pool. Oh no. Effing chat, boys. They'll grow in health, they'll grow in damage, they'll grow in armor, and down the line they'll be able to revive. So you will end up killing off a bug that will come back to life and be like, no, you. The North are in a world of pain at the moment, and if you thought the bugs that they were dealing with before were bad, 98% at this point in time is pretty much going to be an all hands to the pump situation. The green boys flood in, they one-tap players. I don't know if you guys just saw that right now. I needed like a motion replay, slow motion replay. They ran in, went, oi you, and that guy's dead. RIP to James. The wall is thick in certain areas, but at this point in time, you can see now the damage. Like a single spit is doing massive damage across the board. And we'll see waves impact all over the base here. The most important thing you can do right now is stay alive. Stay alive, throw those capsules, and make sure that when these guys all die, you rebuild this wall. Because another wave is about to come in. It's 29, almost 30,000 bugs coming across the map. And that's not just into this main base wall. As we spoke about earlier on, they do like to attack main base because that's where the objective of the base is. They're also coming for areas like this. and potentially out here as well, and here. So I'm worried for the North. They might be able to hold out. Lower Dark is a relatively skilled player, so he does have it within his power, within his grasp to defend this. What is going to struggle, I think, is that the lasers they have aren't well upgraded yet. Let's check in on North research. Now we see laser damage and shooting speed. Okay. They're closing in on being safe, but they need they need to get some lasers down in North. Otherwise, we are absolutely going to get wrapped in a second. Oh, I'm sorry about the adverts, mate. I do have the least amount that I'm meant to run. So I hope all of you guys know I don't do this for money. I don't do it for followers. None of that stuff. So please don't think that I'm here to kind of grow, and it's just for fun. And so I put the adverts at the lowest it possibly is allowed to be before I get demonetized. Because I can use a little bit of that money to buy me coffee. You know, a couple of euros, every couple of months can get a jar of coffee or a pizza in or something like that. Somebody last stream donated, they gifted 20 subs. That was wild. And again, I just want to say thank you for that, because that's a lot of money. Some lasers are going down now. Okay, has it stabilized them? There's so much to do here. So much to do, though. And they're still going to... Yeah, they're flooding it. Ooh, okay. At 99.6%, behemoths have entered North space and gone beyond the defensive wall. That's not grief. That's them trying to run through the wall, and there being bots close. It's a common tactic for players to get through the wall without the bugs getting through, but unfortunately there was like a whole handful of bugs very close. This is looking dire for the North. Large boss bugs are flooding in towards their science area, their production. They don't have a lot of lasers, and the lasers they do have are currently being attacked. Lasers are yet to be fully upgraded, if not upgraded a little bit more than they need to be. And South is saying it's GG. South is saying this is it. We've done enough. Do I agree? I mean, with enough manpower or person power, sorry, don't want to misgender anybody. You can rebuff this. It's not impossible. It feels impossible. Trust me, I've been in these positions before. It sucks. Because as one wave dies, and it's taken you a lot of energy to kill off, another one comes in. But this is not the end of the game. And with bots as well, you can rebuild all of this. But how you coordinate this is the most important thing that you do now. So capsules, massively important. Kiting them into flamers, hugely important. At the moment, we're not reviving because we haven't hit 100% yet. But when we do hit 100%, we will start to see reviving from the bugs. It starts off slow, and then it will build to 20, 30, 40% reviving. And it sucks because, look, they had a pattern down. They were planning on sticking down a wall pattern. And the outpost is busy defending. Yeah. And look, they were even going for nuke. So the North had a plan for longevity, for long-term investment, but the main base has crumbled. Absolutely crumbled. And it's the easy game mode. Now, I know a lot of you guys were complaining that it should be a piece of cake. I just like to mix things up a little bit. We're not going to always do easy. We're not always going to do I'm Too Young to Die. We're not always going to do POC. I just don't want to make things stale and us play the same thing over and over again and people just get annoyed with it, basically. So the North are in a world of pain right now. They're in a tornado of hurt. The hardest difficulty. Thing is, you could host, like, I'd be fine streaming like 10 in a row. Do you know what I mean? The same teams, but we just play 10 Fast and Furious games in a row, and then just see how, a team of people can do. It's mostly spam. It's mostly military. It's mostly science spam, sorry. But look out for events in the Discord as well. I do like to try and make things happen, fun things. So, we have that thanks to Carl, obviously, and a few others like Fordeka, we have 12 mystery players playing against our entire server next week. So that's 12 on North and up to 1,000 players on South. If any of you, firstly, please come and play because we need as much help as possible. I'm going to be streaming that. That's on Sunday next week. And again, next Saturday, we'll have this game again. So there'll be another captain's game where you guys can join and play. I'll be uploading this obviously to YouTube as well. And I'm almost done making those educational videos too. So yeah, Thank you for joining me again this week, guys. I really do appreciate it. There'll be another game after this, by the way. This won't be the end of the server. You know, most of the time, all of these players, as well as some of the spectators, will stay, and they'll just start another one up. But it's normally a really easier game, a much softer play style. This has been a rush to the finish line. It's how can we get to behemoths? You know, what do we need? Let's get there as fast as possible. And we're at a sub 2 hour game here. You know, and they still keep sending. They just want to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And 101% evolved. I mean, it's just impossible at this point. The stuff they had down that was helping them before is now no longer helping them. And all you really do have now is physical buildings and walls and placements that can get in the way. You hate to see it, but you hate to be it, but you love to see it. This is why we play the game. You set up this house of cards, yours hopefully being more stable than the opponent's, and then a tornado of sending and building defense and fighting them off, and you know, getting to that final research tech and getting lasers, and it's so much fun, guys. I highly recommend. If you have an afternoon and you really want to get into a fun game, you don't have to be a pro, you don't have to be a speedrunner. We have some of them in the community, but not everybody is. Come and join us, come and play. Seriously, it's really, really good fun. It can be frustrating if you're a new player, but the best advice I can give you is ask your captain, what can I do? What do you need me to do, or what roles need filling? And they will be able to tell you. This isn't the kind of game where you can be on an island and just play how you want. There's always something you can help with, like building up a big power block, or you know, building up all this smelting. It's just a shame that for one team, and for this week it's the north, it looks like, unless I've missed something massive on the south. Okay, yeah, we've got some bosses coming in, but nothing huge. Yeah, the north have been absolutely penetrated. Well, this is it. Easy difficulty. We played a normal game that went on for 4 hours a couple weeks ago. So I know people were complaining about easy, but it's the game mode itself that doesn't necessarily dictate whether you have a good game. Your play style, the opposition, how strong they are at counterplaying you. It's one big chess game. You know, your opening move might dictate their opening move. Your mid-game move might dictate their mid-game move, or your end game might be stronger than theirs, so they don't want you to get to end game, right? And all of the above. So, yeah, I think it's been well played on both sides here. But I think one team were aiming to get deeper. The North were aiming to get deeper than the South. And the silo that you should protect all the way through the game goes bang. This Bugs is like, hey, what happened, man? Hey, dude, where's my car? GG's all around. And there'll be another game after this. There'll be another game after this for sure. So don't feel like because it's been a short stream that's it. Everyone's going to go off and do something else. I'm going to raid somebody. I've got a birthday to go to. That's why it was easy to get today, guys. I have to go and say, you know, happy birthday to an IRL friend of mine. So here we go. Dr. Claw's going to set up a special game. Do any of you guys have friends of yours that you want to raid? Do any of you guys have any favorite streamers that are online that I could raid right now? If you do, let me know. Because I like to kind of, you know, say hello. Thank you. Let's see. Everlord's on, but he's in the game that just finished. My favorite streamer is Ghosty. Oh, terrible. Let's raid a Factorio streamer. Let's raid somebody else, you know, other than us. Do you guys know anybody that we would welcome a raid? Is there anybody that I know that I would welcome a raid? The Doe. Should we raid the Doe? He comes in and watches all the time. Let's do that. He comes in and watches all the time. The DOH. There we go. Yeah, this will double. Yeah, this is awesome. Cheers for joining me this week, guys. It's been a quicker game than normal, but thank you. I really do appreciate you guys coming down. And yeah, I hope you have a good weekend. Feel free to stick around as well. There'll be another game here. I've got to sign off and head over to that birthday, but yeah, thank you very much for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. Have fun. Good luck. Catch you in a bit. Did I do it right?